let's go to the first technical talk. Our next guest is Dmitry Smilyanets. Dmitry is a seasoned cybersecurity expert with over more than 20 years of experience in the field, which means that he is not that young anymore, but that's another discussion. As the Senior Director of Product Management at Recorded Future, he leads the development of innovative solutions for dark web collections and identity intelligence. Dmitry has extensive knowledge of cybercrime and cyber threat intelligence, which enables him to understand the needs and challenges of clients and partners in both the public and the private sector. He's also a prolific author and speaker, having contributed numerous publications and spoken at various industry events. Today, Dmitry will share his expertise on how credential monitoring can prevent breaches through continuous monitoring and automated responses. And remember, folks, in the world of cybersecurity, passwords are like underwear, change them often, keep them private, and never share them with strangers. With over 20 years of experience, Dmitry is not exactly a spring check anymore, but that just means he's seen it all and he knows how to keep your digital underwear safe and sound. So let's give a warm welcome to Dmitry.
Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Miguel, for inviting me. It's a big honor to be in the center of Europe and the center of cybersecurity. I personally believe if it wasn't you guys, Europe would be in a such worse shape than it is right now. It's thanks to you that Europe is secure. Today, I would like to share a few slides and talk with you about a credential infostealer problem that's it's like a pandemic, and it's a serious one. That's why I bring it to your attention. On agenda, it's a current state of credential exposures, the infostealer threat landscape. We'll talk about what can be done beyond traditional security, and we'll discuss strategies and tools for prevention. Well, let's start with some bad news. Attackers don't hack in, they log in. Why? Because it's much easier to compromise your network security using valid credentials. And we see that in the past year, infostealer landscape grew 266%. We know that, and thanks to Verizon data breach report, we know that 77% of software as service applications breaches involve stolen credentials. So basically, they're not looking for SQL injection exploits or other means. They're just using your employees' credentials to log in seamlessly. And unfortunately, more than 85% of users reuse their password across multiple platforms, making it easier for threat actors to breach your security perimeter. We collected over 5 billion credentials, and it's growing like crazy. And let me tell you how this is happening. Again, the initial access vector is valid accounts. They don't try to break through application security. They just log in using your real credentials, active credentials of your employees. But how do they obtain those credentials? And it's very interesting because we can blame humans for this. Threat actors using multiple angles such as malvertising, phishing, smishing, vishing, trying to get your trust, and then they supplement something you're looking for. And they follow in all the trends. And of course, they know which season it is, and it's a football season. They'll bring a football, fantasy football malvertising campaigns to you and lure you into thinking, oh, this software is real. Let me download this. During a presidential campaign in the United States, they came up with a very interesting campaign, and you can see it on the middle of the slide. They used images of President Biden and President Trump riding horses. Look how creative we are. We can make these videos, and you can make such videos too. Just click download. They know we're looking for drivers. They know we're looking for platforms to trade cryptocurrencies and so on. Software for video calls, just like Zoom, just like today on this webinar. They following our trends and creating fictitious websites that look identical to the real ones. And once you click on downloading this third-party software, that's where they catch you. So as soon as you get this link, either through malvertising, through Google Ads, or following your blogger on YouTube, or maybe on X, former Twitter, or even Discord, once you get this malicious link and you believe it's a legitimate software, you're going to execute it. Now, I'm going to tell you some personal story. My son, he's a teenager and he wanted to sound tough, so he was looking for a voice mode, a software that changes your voice. He looked at, he searched Discord, and one of his friends shared the link with him. He was like, why? Why did you do that? So he executed, it was Redline Stealer. All credentials that he saved was stolen from his gaming computer, and he lost all his Counter-Strike skins. But that's a minor loss compared to what can happen to a larger enterprise. So as soon as you get this link, as soon as you execute it, you get in this payload. And the trick is, if you think that your current endpoint solutions will protect you, that's false. And I'll have a slide about that. So as soon as malware is executed, it goes straight to your browser, picks all the credentials that were saved for your convenience. It also steals all the cookies, and we're going to talk about cookies. I love cookies. As soon as all this information is collected, it reports back to C2, where operator of this malware campaign can cherry pick what they're looking after. Usually it's low-hanging fruits, it's crypto, PayPal accounts, some smaller banks, something like very easy to monetize. But then what's happening on a larger scale, and we call it wholesale level, larger operators exchange this data because they all kind of work on their niche fraud projects. Then they exchange it on a wholesale level, and then they push it to the bigger markets. We're going to discuss markets in a couple of slides. And the worst happens afterwards. Mature criminals who's not going after PayPal or crypto are looking for access to your network. That's when they find these credentials and deploy ransomware. Recorded future, we observed 32 malware families and over 5 billion credentials stolen by infostealer malware. Well, we know that Redline, Vidar, and Raccoon were major players. Thanks to Cybersecurity Belgium, FBI, and Interpol, Redline is no longer a player. Law enforcement did the job well. Infrastructure shut down. Some actors are in jail. Same with Raccoon Stealer. Operators being arrested. Admin is indicted, and their infrastructure is destroyed. But we still have major players like Vidar. Luma is a rising star. Today, most of the infections come from Luma. So as we can see, if you take one head of this threat actor lords, you'll see 2 or 3 more popping. And maybe they don't last as long, but they fill the niche they fill the gaps that created by arrest and disruption of criminal infrastructure. So it's a never-ending fight. We can discuss what can be done to prevent this, at least to address this threat. And I think law enforcement knows better than anyone else. In the past year, again, thanks to Cybersecurity Belgium, Interpol, Europol, FBI, Secret Service, we saw a decrease of such activities because they took an action against Redline and Raccoon Stealers. And this slide represents our daily collections. You know, when infostealer goes to your browser, steals credentials, cookies, they also does some metadata collection. What's the name of the computer? What's the IP address? What antivirus is installed? So that's how we know that all modern antivirus endpoint protection solutions do not protect you, because we see this data coming out of the computers, means antivirus didn't do the job. And all modern tools are basically in this list. How is this happening? Why? Because for each malware campaign, threat actors obfuscate the code, encrypt the payload. There are additional services that other criminals provide on the dark web. So basically, your payload you encrypt, you obfuscate the code, and you use it, and no AV, no endpoint XDR, EDR solution knows what it is, and just it lets it through. And moreover, you just downloaded it. You want this software, you want this AI video editor because it's awesome, right? And that's how criminals trick you. So human element is major problem, but antivirus solution is not helping us. And you'll say, Dmitry, we covered, we good, we have multi-factor, we have 2FA, I received this SMS code, or I have this session token. The truth is, with those passwords, infostealer grabs your session tokens. Some of session tokens are saved in a matter of cookies. Different endpoints, different web endpoints have different configurations based on settings that web servers set up. But the truth is, in 40% of cases, stolen credentials have stolen cookies. And if you have this cookie, you can bypass MFA. I did this presentation back in the days in the Black Hat, and I used Google as an example, and I believe like if you can trick Google into letting you through the 2FA and MFA, you can trick almost every other endpoint. And look, last end of the year, a security team from Chrome announced an update. The encrypted cookies were secure, yes, but no. Criminals, it took them less than 72 hours to update their malware. So it now can go through this Chrome advanced security and steal the cookie nevertheless. So the fight continues. And the truth is that it's not just 1, 2 passwords. When compromised host is compromised by infostealer and all passwords are extracted, this is approximate number. It's 77 credentials stolen per device. So I have more than 200, I counted, like from all kind of stuff. And it terrifies me if someone will have access to all my credentials. It's like it's the worst of the worst. The entire digital identity is exposed. I've seen hosts for customers that compromised by infostealers that had more than 1,000 credentials. Those are developer hosts with those IP and all kind of credentials on the back end that you never want criminals to have access to. It's very scary. It's not just email password for your Netflix account. I've seen Netflix too, but the truth is so much more is hidden. What goes next? Those credentials, after they aggregated on a C2 level, when main operators pick their cherries and exchange within themselves, they still want to monetize that. And that's where the bigger crime enablement is happening, because they upload those tens and hundreds of thousands of credentials to Russian market. There used to be a leader in this space, Genesis market, but thanks again to law enforcement partners, Cybersecurity Belgium, Interpol, Europol, FBI, who disrupted their activities so that major players know more, but all the customers, all the vendors went straight to Russian market. So all of them are hanging out there. And why it's dangerous? Because Russian market allows search by URL, but this is not it. They allow search by URL pattern. So what you can do, you can search by /VPN //Citrix / I'm going to talk about these patterns. And basically, they can laser focus on network access credentials like RDP, VPN, all kind of hosts. They know how they look, and they can target not just specific organization, but very specific credentials of this organization. One credential from Russian market will cost those mid-tier threat actors $12, just $12. And then what happens next? Those mid-tiers who picked up this credential from Russian market for $12 validate those credentials. And of course, they're going to have like 100 tests. They have tools. I've seen a tool that you upload like 1,000 credentials, click validate, upload a list of proxies. So it connects from different proxies, tests credentials, and places valid ones in a separate text file. So those are screenshots of real posts on dark web forums. Those are initial access brokers. So higher tier criminals who discovered from all these millions of credentials, discovered those VPN, RDP, your software management tools, and they resell them. They reselling them to ransomware operators, the worst of the worst. So it's that easy. They picked it for $12, resold it for 2,000. And then the ransomware operator, the only thing he needs to do is log in, because credentials were validated, the actual, the real, they're working. Log in, or before they log in, they go to Logbit or whoever is active right now, get the most recent payload for the ransomware. And there are very advanced tools now. You don't have to have many privileges on this compromised machine. It will just spread itself. It will look for domain admin creds and pour through your network. So I spoke with those threat actors back in the days when I was threat intelligence analyst, and this Krusty bro, what caught my attention, he posted those patterns. So he didn't say, okay, that's my airline company or manufacturer is at sale. He posted the patterns. I was like, what is this, bro? It's like, that's exactly credentials you should be looking for. Like, tell me more. So he shared with me like 30 patterns that they digging all malware logs and searching for this very patterns. I was like, thank you. So we built a filter in our database specifically for these patterns. So learning from the very bad guys how to protect against very bad guys, that's a special skill. But let's look at the reality. This aggregation is based on those patterns. And this is just 30 days exposure. And you can see, like, you don't see brands here, but Microsoft Online, Okta, Citrix, all kind of tools we're using daily. And look at the scale, it's tens of thousands. It's a monthly exposure. So basically they have access to 1 million risky credentials per month. How many attacks we see every week? 20, 30, 50? Imagine they can grow 10 times. The only thing that limits them is their time and likely Pedro, because Cybersecurity Belgium is a strong defense against those crooks. Unfortunately, United States is the main victim. We can see Europe is better protected against such attacks. I'm scared when I'm looking at this slide. I think you are too. And that's why we came with a simple solution. It's absolutely free. And we put it on our website. Anyone with a corporate email can log in, go to our website, and absolutely for free request your personal identity exposure report. So first step towards protecting yourself, knowing how badly you are exposed. And that's the tool that you can go and have access to. It will tell you how many employees and users' credentials were exposed for your domain. It will show you those authorization endpoints that criminals see that they have credentials for. And you will see the timeliness. And the truth is, the fight right now is not for days. The fight is for hours. Criminals learn how to act faster. And we also must learn how to act faster. This data it will not help you just looking at it. You need to act, you need to do password reset. You need to talk to your employees and educate them to never download the third-party apps from Google. Don't trust this search because Google ads are malicious. It's malvertising. Moreover, you cannot trust even your favorite video bloggers because their accounts also get hijacked and then some links are posted there. So first step towards security is education your personnel. Second step is knowing what really happened, and this tool actually will help you. And you can click on this QR code. It's not malware, I promise. It's the link to Recorded Future website where you can have access to this tool. And I'm happy to answer any QAs at this point if we have. All right. Let me check. macOS Stealer, yes. Atomic Stealer, Banshee, Cuckoo, Poseidon. Yes, there are plenty of macOS Stealers. The truth is, they're not as popular. It's harder to infect macOS machine because you have to go through multiple layers of protections. You have to like double click, execute, confirm access to these folders and that folder. So 97% are what we see, 97% are infections from Windows machine. All right. Well, you can drop more questions to the chat and I will be happy to answer them. But thank you very much. Blessed to be here. Cybersecurity Belgium, the best.
Thank you very much, Dmitry. As usual, a very interesting talk, and also an eye opener. Starts with credential leaks. It's nobody's problem, but if you make an in-depth analysis how big the problems are, then it's like you said, it's a little bit frightening, and that's why our national campaign in Belgium is all the time repeating and pushing everybody and every organization to use MFA on their systems, because we do see still so much intrusions where MFA was not enabled. Dmitry, thank you very much once again, and I hope to talk to you soon. I'm looking forward for continuing our partnership. Thank you very much.